Hello, my jelly beans. This is Jellywish here, and today we're going to be playing a game called There's Something Wrong with My Blind Date. Let's get into it. Oh? I love mac and cheese. Okay. 16 character limit. Well, I'll just go with Jelly for now. I'll go with she, her. Oh, is that a BMO reference? Or just like in general a Game Boy reference? Well, I like all of these things, but let's go with gaming. Ooh, put in a quote 48 character limit. And boop. Done. Tuesday. It's raining. Should have brought an umbrella. The rain feels nice. The rain feels nice. The sharp droplets of water make you feel grounded in your body. Sorry, I just ate my lunch, and I'm in that stage of like you're digesting, so your tummy is full and you're going all the time. The roads are empty. Night creeping into the city. Despite your protests, the nurses had to shoo you out, with visiting hours having been over. You try not to think about the hospital behind you. You try to ignore the image of your mom in that small white room, the smell of disinfectant and the coughing of other patients in the ward. She has always been your hero. She taught you to be kind. She taught you to be strong. She raised you on her own and told you how proud she was to call you her daughter. It hurts to see her in that room, hooked up to all sorts of tubes and IV drips, her skin bruised from the needles. As usual, you had paid her a visit, and as usual, she gave you a reassuring smile, telling you that everything will be all right. You try to ignore what the doctor told you. Stage D heart failure. 1 year left, maybe less. You think about your mom again. She's lost weight. Her eyes look sunken, the wrinkles on her face more prominent. Has your hero always looked this small? You looked up at the sky. I should get out of the rain. There's something wrong with my blind date. Location: Glass Bar Lounge. A bell chimes as you open the door, announcing your arrival. Welcome to the Glass Lounge. Oh, it's you. Missed me? Not particularly, no. You walked on over to the bar, taking a seat in front of CO2. Jelly? Mm-hmm. You're dripping water all over my floor. Apologize, 'cause that's how I cope. You turn to see the trail of rainwater left in your wake. Ah, shoot. Sorry, body. I didn't even realize. You grab a napkin and toss it on top of the man-made puddle, but the cheap material simply disintegrates into soggy, smaller pieces. That didn't help, did it? No. These napkins suck. And while I'm at it, your toilet paper is probably the worst thing I've ever used to wipe my cheeks with. It feels like literal sandpaper. Management's been cutting corners. Not much I can do about it. Maybe you should... You hastily wipe at your face. The android blinks. You can hear the sound of its motors whirring as it focuses its lenses onto you. My scanners are detecting a drop in your body temperature. Nothing a few rounds of alcohol won't fix. Fixing your problems and forgetting about them are two vastly different things. Counterpoint, forgetting is easier. We'll see how easy it is when you wake up in the dumpster behind the 24/7 diner on 7th Street with your wallet gone and your right shoe missing. Oddly specific. People tell me things. Your memory scares me sometimes, but I guess that's why you make the best drinks. Flattery will get you nowhere. Not even a discount? No. Boo. You shake your head, and a few droplets of water fly in different directions. The bartender seemed unamused as usual. You wonder if its burnout attitude is a result of its programming, or if it's just jaded from being stuck working in a bar for the past 2 decades. Say, what's new as of late? Got any cool new stories to tell? That depends. What would you like to know? Oh, we got lots of options. We got lots of options here. Let's go with some rumors. Heard any rumors? Bad ones. See, now you got me curious. What is it? There are rumors of a human trafficking ring going on within this city. People have been going missing for a while now, but the police haven't been able to gain any major leads. They suspect that it's the work of a serial killer, but the intelligence analyst that frequents this bar says otherwise. Why's that? Serial killers tend to target a specific profile and leave behind a modus operandi of sorts. The victims, however, don't exactly share many similarities with one another. The age, gender, race, background, and physical features are all over the place. If the crime scene characteristics don't match up, it makes it difficult for them to find any patterns in the disappearances. That being said, the police are unsure if it really is human trafficking. They lack the data to reach anything conclusive, and the whole serial killer theory is merely a rumor started by the people as a result of slow investigation. That's scary. I kind of regret asking now. Be cautious when working out in the streets alone after dark. I'd recommend traveling in groups of at least 2 or more. Good idea. You sigh, stretching your arms up into the air. Man, I was hoping this would cheer me up, and I don't think that really helped. I admit, I'm not equipped to assist you with your personal problems. That's a nice way of saying, solve your problems yourself. Don't talk to me. You'd think at this point they'd come up with some sort of emotional support software for you guys. Androids have no need for emotions. That would pose a security risk. I sometimes forget that you're not a real person. I kind of see you as a buddy. The android shakes its head. Don't mistake what we have as friendship. Human connections do not mean much to me. Fortunately for both of us, I'm not the only one in your life. The bartender glances behind you. You have a good support network, Jelly, and people who really care for you. You should make the most of it. Speaking of which, here comes one now. Jelly? Jelly, hi! Pups! What a coincidence! What are you doing here? I just finished up at the lab. Professor Joy helped us to go over some of our findings. Anyway, I was on my way home when the rain started to really pour. I didn't bring an umbrella with me, and the bar was nearby, so I thought I'd come in here and wait out the worst of the storm. Guess the weather caught us both off guard, huh? Somebody should really fire the rain guy. The meteorologist. He can meteorology. He can meteorology these fists. Better watch out, weather boy. You're paying for my dry cleaning. Anyway, sit. Grab a drink with me. Might as well since you're already here, right? On a Tuesday night? Jelly, I have classes tomorrow morning. Come on, pups, listen up. But, I also feel uncomfortable about that. Why am I, I know we're friends, but I don't encourage my friends to drink. I don't encourage my friends to drink. You just don't peer pressure people into drinking. It's kind of a dick move. It's really just rude in general. He doesn't seem to be budging. Perhaps you'll have to resort to using that. I don't have another option. Use that? I'm afraid of what that is. Desperate times call for desperate measures. You clasp your hands together and put on your best pleading look. Puppy, please. I don't want to drink alone. You can see his resolve crumbling in real time. He's always had a soft spot for you. Okay. Just one, then. He moseys on over to you, only to pause mid-step above the puddle of water still pooled underneath your seat. I forgot about that. From your peripheral vision, you can see CO2 grab a mop. Jelly, you're soaked. How long were you outside? While. Do you have a change of clothes on you? Or something to dry yourself off with? I didn't really bring my bag out with me today. Ah, jeez. He zips open his backpack, digging through his notebooks and papers. Jelly, you need to be more careful with your health. Prolonged exposure to the cold will negatively affect your immune system, increasing your risk of catching a cold or flu virus. I'll be fine. It'll be fine, pups. You know what they say, idiots can't catch colds. You're not an idiot, though. You pinch at his cheeks endearingly. Whatever you say. You sniffle, your nose runny. Guessing the combination of cold weather and wet fabric got to you in the end after all. We should still get you dried off a bit, Jelly. Puppy, still digging through his backpack, finally procures a white towel. Found it. It's clean, in case you were worried about that. You scrunch up your face. Seriously, pups, I'm fine. And why do you just carry around a towel with you? It's convenient. I use it as a pillow sometimes when I need to sneak in some sleep in between classes. That's not weird, is it? I don't know. What do you think, bartender? Very odd. Why not just bring a pillow at that point? I mean, towels could be used for other stuff too. Like dipping in chloroform to knock people out? No, I meant like using it as a picnic blanket. Nothing but excuses. We've got him cornered now, Detective Jelly. Indeed. Chloroform kidnapper, your evil deeds end here and now. You guys do know that the application of chloroform via inhalation is a lot more difficult than just dipping a towel in it and holding it over somebody's mouth, right? What? Is that supposed to be common knowledge? No, Pretty sure only a killer of the serial variety would know that. Guys, I'm not a serial killer. We're just messing with you, pups. Puppy sighs, dripping the towel over your head. Puppy seems like the childhood friend type, so I'll just let him. You sit back and relax, letting Puppy take the reins. He's careful not to hurt you, cautiously combing through any particularly stubborn knots as he methodically parts your hair to dry off every section. It reminds you of the old days, when you used to play together in the park after school. You know, I used to be the one cleaning up after you. Guess our roles have reversed, huh? Puppy hums. Seeing how my messes were mud trails, dirt tracks, and occasional wild animal, I'd say you got the short end of the stick. True. You used to drive my mom crazy with all the weird bugs you'd bring into the house. I may or may not have gotten, a little overeager in sharing my insect collection with you. He runs his fingers through your hair, gently massaging your scalp. It feels comfortable. Physical touch isn't a new concept between the two of you. Growing up, you often hugged or held hands, and have even more than one occasion shared the same bed. But things have been different as of late. A slight shift in your dynamic with one another. A softer tone, a softer voice, the weird, unbearable feeling in your chest. Does he notice it too? You don't bring it up. You don't want to bring it up. Feels like something you'd ruin if you looked it in the face too long. And donezo. He sets the towel down on the table, clearly pleased with his handiwork. Feeling a little more comfortable now that your head is dry, you give Puppy a big thumbs up. Thanks, pups. I didn't want to use the napkins here. Me neither. It feels like sandpaper? Sandpaper. The two of you share a conspiratory giggle. By the way, I didn't get to ask, but is that a new sweater? Mm-hmm. I won it at a trivia booth at the local snail convention. Snail convention? Yeah, snail convention. There's a joke to be had here. Do it! Oh, no, it's not a... It's a nuts joke. Great. Snail on my nuts. Bro is absolutely flabbergasted. CO2, having finished mopping up your puddle, returns to its post behind the bar. You two seem close. Well, we're practically attached at the hip. Him and I have been tight since elementary. You grab onto Puppy's arm for emphasis. He smiles in return. How did you two meet? Aside from the fact that you attend the same school together, I do not have much information on your history with one another. You strike a dramatic pose in response. It can't be helped. There's a lot you don't know about me. I'm really just a dark and mysterious individual. I find it hard to consider you dark and mysterious when I've seen you hunched over the bathroom stall, throwing up from alcohol poisoning. The lighting's bad in those restrooms. Maybe you just mistook me for someone else? No, you're here so often that the image of your sad, pathetic form is practically burned into my memory card. You turn to Puppy for help, but he shrugs half-heartedly. You do frequent this place. Probably, more often than you should be. Traitor! Anyway, do you want to know the story about how me and Pups met? Trying to change the subject? Definitely trying to change the subject. Oh, I think I was 7, 8 years old. I was playing at the old park near the sea, the one with the hills leading down toward the shore. It feels like a hazy snapshot or a fading image. The nostalgia makes you smile. I think I was picking dandelions. I thought they looked pretty and I wanted to bring something nice back from my mom. It was a simpler time. Your mom hadn't been diagnosed yet. You shake away the thought. And as I'm picking these dandelions, making little flower crowns, I hear someone yell in the distance. It happened in a flash. I see the sky, then I'm falling backwards, tumbling through the grass. Next thing I know, there's this sharp, stabbing pain in my ankle and a crying boy in my arms. Turns out somebody, not naming any names, completely neglected to check his surroundings while trying to catch a ladybug, and crashed right into me. Lady beetle, actually. They're beetles, not bugs. Ladybug is a misleading term because they're not really a bug. Real bugs, true bugs, are insects from the Hemiptera order. Instead, lady beetles belong to the Coleoptera. Coleoptera? Dang it, I need my friend for this. They know about bugs more than I do. I'm talking to you. You know who you are. Instead, lady beetles belong to the Coleoptera order, which typically have an elytra that distinguishes. Am I saying all of this right? I'm spending so much time on this. Which typically have an elytra that distinguishes. Okay, I can't pronounce this word. I'm sorry. I'm gonna just. I've been looking up at least 5 minutes how to pronounce that word, so I'm sorry if I mispronounce any of these words. I don't know etymology very well, so I'm just gonna say Pupillae, the story. Huh? Oh, right. I was chasing after a lady beetle that had landed on me and flown away. And, I got a little bit too caught up in the chase and ended up colliding into Jelly. Basically, we both fell down a hill. I sprained my ankle, and he fractured his arm, trying to break the fall. They sent us to the ER together. We were in there for a while, and the whole time, Puppy wouldn't stop crying. I think he was more worried about my ankle than his arm. I guess he was just scared I'd never be able to walk again. Now that I think about it, you made me a promise back then, didn't you? His face flushes red. Looks like he still remembers. What was it again? I don't know. He definitely knows. I think you said, I'll take responsibility for you. Little Pups thought he'd have to become my permanent caretaker. My, how bold. Hey, it was serious, okay? If you were hurt. Looking at him now, you found his reaction. It's cute. It's cute. Cute. Huh? I said you're cute, silly. Puppy looks away, face red. Oh, thank you. You're welcome. Anyway, we somehow ended up inseparable by the time we came out of the ER. And well, you wrap an arm around Puppy's shoulder, pulling him in for a side hug. We've been best friends ever since. Missed opportunity. You could have sued for personal injury. Don't pick on the poor guy. He was just excited to show off cool bugs, beetles, to his friends. And plus, we wouldn't have met if he didn't crash land into me. So, all's well that ends well. 2 bodily injuries for a chance of meeting seems hefty to me. Honestly, a broken bone was a small price to pay for me to meet Jelly. I'd happily break more if it meant I could be friends with her again and in love with life. He gives you a genuine smile. You'll always be my first pick. Aww, that is cute. That is very cute. Be appreciative. Puppy's awkward at times, but he's always been straightforward and honest about his fondness for you. It's one of the many things you like about him. You can't help but return his smile. And you're my first pick, too. But no more broken bones. I'd prefer having you around in one piece. Speaking of the park, though, I wonder what happened to it. Is it still there? No, I was in the area once and stopped by. They completely demolished it. There's a large commercial building standing in its place now. Oh, that's a little sad. Yeah, I miss it too. That hill was special to me. You turn to face CO2, who looks almost amused. Can robots feel amused? What? Nothing. Just an observation. Now, are you two ready to order? Or am I going to have to peacefully escort you two off the premises? Puppy didn't even miss a beat. 1 agape's devotion for me, with extra strawberries and sugary rim. The usual, then. And you, Jelly? Ooh. Devotion, tenacity, or infatuation? I have a feeling this is important. So many choices! So many choices to make! Oh my goodness! I thought this was going to be a shorter game! Let's go with the same drink that Puppy had. You glance at the menu. It's a strawberry cocktail, garnished with a dark green mint. You smile to yourself. A leafy green. You smile to yourself. The leafy green of the mint reminds you of someone's hair. Same thing as Puppy. He bumps your shoulder lightly. Awesome sauce. CO2 seems less enthused. 2 cavity bombs coming right up. Yeah. Yeah, those 2 look like cavity bombs. You watch in silence as the android begins to measure out the portions of your drinks with extreme precision. It's almost mesmerizing. Puppy gives you a small tug on your sleeve, breaking your concentration. Jelly? What's up? Tomorrow, after you're done with classes, are you free? I don't know where this is going. Ask why. It depends. Why? Oh, just to hang out. I want to check out that new commercial building you mentioned. The one where the park was. And you don't have to decide now. Just let me know by tomorrow. Sure, but what's with the sudden interest? I'm curious about it. And, you seemed kind of down. I thought maybe it'd help you cheer up. How could you tell? I thought I was acting pretty normal today. It's just a feeling. He always been oddly perceptive of your emotional state. Is it about your mom? Or maybe he's just an esper. You sigh, resting your face against the cool surface of the bar. Yes, I went to visit her today. Did her condition worsen? Stage D. Puppy goes silent, well aware of the implication of those words. He's been studying pharmaceutical sciences for a few years now, and it is the subject of him and his team's research work. To think that the little boy who wanted nothing more to do than have the world's largest insect collection was now working to create medicine that would help others. You pause. Hey, wait. You've always wanted to be an entomologist, didn't you? Study bugs, follow in your parents' footstep in zoology? I did. Then why'd you switch to a track in medical chemistry? I mean, clearly you're smart enough to pursue entomology, and it's something you're still passionate about, so why didn't you? Well, I do like entomology, and it would have been nice as a career choice too, but... He tilts his head to look at you. I found something else that I wanted more. Even more than an insect collection? Puppy giggles. Way, way more. Sorry to interrupt, but your drinks are ready. You straighten out at your seat as CO2 sets your agape's devotion in front of you. Oh, looks good. Thanks a lot, old bot. You're welcome. You two enjoy yourselves. Bring me up if you need anything else. With that, the bartender gives you an indiscernible, almost smug look before disappearing behind an employees-only door. It's just you and Puppy now. He licks at the sugar on the rim of his glass before taking a tentative sip of his drink. How is it? Good. CO2 pretty much has my preferences down to a T. What are your preferences, anyway? Huh? Just ask normally, like... Puppy's cute and all, but, I feel like we're kind of leading him on in a way. For drinks. Oh, well, I like sweet things. But not artificial sweet, more like... fruity sweet? Natural sweet? Oh, I get that. I feel like artificially sweetened things tend to leave a weird aftertaste. It might be because of the sweetener used. I don't know how to pronounce any of that. Oh, no. My jelly beans, please forgive my pronunciation if I have mispronounced any of these words. Saccharin and Kisflame possesses an citric, lingering, bitter aftertaste, which increases with high concentrations. I have no idea what any of that means, but I concur. You pick up your own glass, admiring the intricate work that went behind layering the liquids inside. Then tentatively, you took a sip. Puppy has good taste. The cocktail is both sweet and refreshing, the addition of strawberries contributing to a bit of the tartness within the overall flavor. You smile. This drink really does remind you of Pups, a dorky sweetheart who's always uplifting your mood. Puppy downs the rest of his drink and wipes his mouth with a napkin. Then he fidgets around for a moment, something clearly on his mind. We're friends. We've been friends for years. What's on your mind, pup? Give me the lot. Something up, pups? Sort of. I just need to think about how I should word it. He He tugs lightly on his stray strands of hair, a nervous habit of his. I got it. You're probably the strongest person I know, Jelly. You always face your hardships head on without any complaints. And well, I really look up to you for that. I think it's an admirable strength. But whenever you're feeling down, you tend to hide it from other people. Even if it's really, really struggling, you still go about your day with a smile as if nothing is wrong. He peers at your face, gauging your expression. I know I'm not the best person to talk about this kind of stuff with, but I've been around you long enough to know when you're really hurting. So, it's fine for you to be sad. I'd never judge you for it, and it won't make me think any less of you if you do. He tugs at his stray strand of hair again. I know there's not much I can do to help, but I'm here for you, for anything, if you need it. Oh, sweet Pupple-a-day. What did you do to ever deserve him? Can I have a hug? Oh. You reach out for a hug, and Puppy immediately wraps his arms around you. It's instant comfort. He's soft, he's warm, he smells like the morning dew and fresh laundry. When's the last time someone's hugged you like this? You can't even remember. You hate crying in public. It makes you feel weak, like you're inconveniencing those around you. But with Puppy, it's different. Somehow you feel like everything will be okay. He rubs at your back reassuringly as you bury your face into his scarf. It's not fair. I haven't even gotten to repay her. You already did. I don't want to lose her. I know. I deserve to have my mom. You do. You stay there for a while, letting all your bottled up emotions run free. Puppy continues patting you on the back in smooth, gentle motions. It's comfortable here. So comfortable that you never want to leave. But all good things must come to an end. Finally, you pull away, wiping at your tear-stricken face with your hands. Thank you. I needed that. He nods solemnly. I just wish there was more I could do for you. He pauses for a moment, seemingly dealing with some inner conflict. I'll work harder. Hey, you do plenty for me already. Who else would lend me a towel in my most dire hour of need? Puppy pouts unhappily. A serial killer, apparently. Pups, are you still mad about that? It was a joke. Puppy, come on. Okay, forgiven. Thank you. You sigh, leaning back into your chair. I gotta say, first my mom, then this sudden storm. I feel like my life's been nothing but a series of bad luck recently. Maybe someone cursed me, looking at me the wrong way, as a voodoo doll with my name on it. Whatever it is, I hope it passes soon. I'm just so tired of it all. Oh, wait. I've got it. He fumbles with his scarf for a moment before presenting you with something shiny. Here, you can have this. He's giving me his lady beetle pin? Aww. What a sweet friend. What a sweet friend. colors are a bit faded and chipped from years of wear, but it's clean. He's been taking good care of it. You've never seen Puppy go a day without his trinket. So, comes as a surprise to you that he's offering up something so precious to you now. They say that lady beetles can grant you a wish. I know it's not a real one, but maybe the magic's still there. I didn't really take you for the superstitious type, being a STEM kid and all. There are some things in this world that science just can't explain. Puppy, you're so sweet. Okay. Thank you. You pick up the pin from his hand and carefully hook it onto your own shirt. Thoughts? Super awesome sauce. Oh, I like that, like, in the design, if you take his pin is gone now. Good attention to detail. It's a small attention to detail, but it's a good attention to detail. You think some of your genius will get transferred to me now, too? Now you're asking for too much. This is so childish. What's next? Don't tell me you two still believe in Santa Claus. You turn to face your uninvited guest. Louise Lou? Oh, good. So your eyes do work. Louise Lou, your friend, your enemy, you're not quite sure, but you're kinda mean. She is the presence of a tornado, entering and exiting people's lives on her own whims, without much regard for the destructive path she leaves behind. Pups? Yeah? This thing was supposed to bring me good luck, right? Well, there's no actual correlation between lady beetles and an increased statistical probability and good fortune. Are you sure you didn't just curse me instead? I don't think so. Louise crossed her legs in response, not fazed in the slightest by your obvious displeasure in her appearance. Do you even know how long I've been sitting here? No? 10 minutes. I've been sitting here for 10 minutes, waiting for either of you to take notice. Well, if you wanted me to notice you, you could have said hi or hello. But no, you just decided to sit down at a bar where other people can easily sit down next to us at a bar. So that's on you, Louise. Do you have any idea how embarrassing it was for me to watch you two flirt with each other? Just thinking about it makes me want to throw up. You know, you could have just said hi. Yeah, exactly. Louise, are you trying to be a dark, brooding, mysterious character? Because if you are, you're failing at it so hard. I didn't want to interrupt your little moment. She impatiently taps her finger on the bar's countertop, clearly irritated. You're not quite sure what's gotten her so riled up. She's usually calm and composed. Something must have really ticked her off. Hi, Louise. It's been a while. She doesn't respond. Are you interested in lady beetles? I have an illustrated book that provides a look at the evolution of the insect family. Never mind. You sigh. So, Louise, are you here to finally apologize for ghosting me for the last 2 months? Look, I was busy. It was not done out of malice. I'm not an idiot, Louise. You were mad that I didn't want to be your own personal little secretary, and you decided to take it out on me by ignoring all my texts and calls. Believe whatever you want, Jelly. I have neither the time nor patience to correct every wrong notion a person's had about me. Maybe they're not notions? Maybe it's just the truth? You know, it's not like you had a great reputation in the first place. Before we met, I heard all these bad rumors about you. And I thought it was just because people were jealous. I mean, you're rich, you're conventionally attractive, and you've got charisma in your own way. So I thought maybe you were misunderstood. Maybe people just didn't like seeing a successful woman and wanted to put you down. But now that I do know you, I can say this for sure. You're just objectively a terrible person. The only reason you ever keep people around is because they still have something of value to offer you. As soon as they outlive their use, you toss them aside. Louise didn't even bat an eye at your accusation. Jelly, everything in this world is transactional. You give something in the form of time, labor, or money, and you receive something in similar value in return. Friendships are transactional. Love is transactional. Even families are transactional. It's not uncommon to see fights break out amongst relatives over financial reasons. If something or someone loses its value, it gets thrown away. Just how the world works. As long as someone has the talent or can provide value to my life in any way, I am more than willing and happy to compensate them for their time and effort. And I have. I have always been fair in upholding my end of a bargain. I think the reason you're so upset with my lack of communication is because you are mistaken about our relationship with one another. I'm not your friend, or your companion, or your partner, or your lover. I'm just here to do business, so don't go growing any personal attachments to me, because I won't for you. Glad we're on the same page then, because I never want to see you again. An air of tension stagnates between the two of you. Finally, Louise sighs. Goodness, I don't know why I'm still here. Normally, I'd have left by the first insult and plotted your downfall by the second. How generous. So why haven't you? I don't know. I've been asking myself the same question as of late. Perhaps it's pity? No, it's more like sympathy. What happened to not developing any personal attachments? Perhaps it's because it's one of the few times I can relate with someone else. I know about your mother's condition. That catches you off guard. Why the hell are you digging around through my life? Just hear me out, Jelly. I'm no stranger to the grief you're experiencing right now. I lost my mom and ba when I was 17. Losing one's parents, it's not a pain I would wish upon anyone else, and I mean that. She seems genuine. There's a hint of profound bitter sadness behind her hardened gaze. You never liked Louise, but you do to some degree respect her. Despite her questionable methods, she's always been capable and firm. A woman who, much like you, stubbornly refuses to show even a moment of weakness to others. You've always viewed her as this unshakable pillar, not to be looked down upon nor pitied. But right now, she doesn't look like a towering figure of steel will and unshaken resolve. You look at her, and all you see is a vulnerable young girl. I feel like if I push her about it, she's... I feel like if I push her about it, she's just going to be more pissed off. So, let's let her talk if she wants to talk. Despite your feelings of sympathy, you remain quiet. She's hurt plenty of people throughout her lifetime. Her past sufferings do not justify her present actions, nor does it warrant any commiseration from you. Louise Liu is bad news, and you just want nothing to do with her. Puppy, on the other hand, is much more prone to her display of sadness than you are. What, happened? I don't know the full story. The police only ever figured out bits and pieces based on circumstantial evidence from the crash. It happened 6 years ago, on my birthday. My brother insisted that we all go celebrate at a family villa. The trip would take a few hours by car, and we would have to cross a mountain to get there. Obviously, I didn't want to go. I wanted to spend my birthday with my friends. But Lu Ren was the family's beloved baby boy. So naturally, Mom and Ba listened to him. The morning of our departure, I came down with a particularly nasty fever. Our physician said I would need to rest in bed for at least a few days. I was quite pleased with this turn of events. But Lu Ren got upset. He would have me go even despite me being sick. Luckily, my parents had a sliver of sensibility left. They had me remain at home while they left for the trip themselves. She goes quiet. This next part is difficult for her to share. The rest is, like I said, bits and pieces. I don't know the full truth. I don't know if I ever will. Police found the wreckage. They think they may have been rounding a bend when a deer or some other large animal jumped in front of the vehicle. The driver ended up veering them all off a cliff, straight into the woods below. Search and rescue combed the area for weeks. They found the car, but never the bodies. Not the driver, nor my family. But on the 13th day of their search, something finally came up. My little brother. They found him wandering around the wreckage in a daze. No clue how they missed him before. He was immediately sent to the hospital, where he was questioned by authorities. And would you believe it? He couldn't remember a thing. The doctor said it's retrograde amnesia, brought by some form of trauma. You don't sound convinced. Because I'm not. I find it hard to believe that a 14-year-old boy could survive on his own out there for 2 whole weeks, all while somehow managing to slip under search and rescue's radar. And for 3 bodies to just disappear. Even wild animals leave tracks behind while they bury their meals. The trip was his idea. He insisted I come. My fever must have thrown a wrench into his plans. It must have been premeditated. He must have had some outside help. But he wouldn't do that, would he? He's your brother. Not by blood. That's news to you. He's adopted? No. You're adopted. She looks irritated at the line of questioning. Yes. My parents couldn't conceive, so they adopted me. But it turns out all they needed to do was try a little harder, because 3 years later, they pop out the baby boy they've always wanted. You might have accidentally poked at an old wound. Well, we clearly don't trust her. Show sympathy, though, because why not? Louise, Stop. I already know where this is going, and I don't care to share because I wanted to be pitied. Uh-huh. Well, that's what I get for showing empathy. She sighs, brushing off her dress. Lucky me, right? Adopted by a wealthy family. That's quite literally the dream for most people. It's not that simple. My days of luxury are short-lived. Soon, my brother will turn 20. And when he does, he'll have full control over the family and its finances. I'll be entirely at his mercy. What? You two are siblings. Shouldn't you both receive something? The Lus are old money. They have some customs and traditions, deeply rooted into a patriarchal lineage that spans centuries. For my brother, that means he's immediately first in line to become the family head, to inherit everything that otherwise would have been mine. As for me, I'm going to be married off to whichever family will best secure my brother's position within high society, auctioned off like cattle. And I highly doubt a boy who killed his own parents and meticulously removed all evidence of his crime has any room left in his heart to hear out the woes of his dear adopted sister. That's rough, buddy. Shell no! Cowabummer! That's rough, buddy. We're going Lord Zuko route. That's rough, bud. Ow. Louise gives your shin a swift kick with her heels. It is rough, which brings me to the subject matter at hand. I need you to do a favor for me regarding my baby brother, and I will reward you for your efforts. You blink once, then twice. Ah, that's why she sought you out today. Hear her out, I guess. I knew it! It's never that simple with you, is it? Everything has to be transactional. There's always a catch. You sigh, too tired to even let anger take over. Fine. I'll humor you. What deal do you want to strike this time? I can get your mom a heart transplant. No wait list necessary. No long procedures. Everything paid for and taken care of, with the best cardiothoracic surgeons money can buy. And what do you want in return? Louise smiles. I'd like you to find evidence of foul play regarding my brother's involvement in Parent's death. Like I said, Loren will be turning 20 soon. He'll have a Guanli ceremony to celebrate his coming of age, and then he will officially become the head of the family. I can't have that happening. I've already lost my parents to that monster. I refuse to lose their legacy as well. I'll need something big. Something that'll permanently hinder his claim to the inheritance, while also helping me garner the support of our relatives and other family friends. Your head feels like it's about to burst. But how am I supposed to find any evidence? This happened 6 years ago. I'll be setting you up on a blind date with him. You're setting me up on a blind date with a killer? A potential killer that you know is a potential killer? Also, there's also a serial killer on the loose. I forgot about that part. Your brother's the serial killer, isn't he? This is gonna be a bad date. Alrighty. You and Puppy both give her a weird look. She rolls her eyes in response. Of course, this is a date in name only. What I really want from you is to extract information out of him pertaining to my parents' case. If you succeed in bringing me back something useful that I can actually use, I'll have my people on standby.
Begin
the transplant operation on your mother. And if I don't, then the deal's off. This doesn't seem safe. What makes you so sure your brother will agree to this date? Especially one that you set up for him. He will. These types of arranged meetings aren't uncommon for those within our circle. And since my network is larger than Luran's, I've been tasked with appointing him blind dates in order to find a suitable marriage partner. I've been setting him up on these dates for years now. I know his type now, and I've realized he has a tendency to slip up when he has something he wants placed right in front of him. And I have confidence he'll slip. He's got a ferocious personality that can only be satisfied by someone with a strong will, someone such as yourself. So play along, wind him up, lure him in with false promises, and gather proof, any proof. If you can't find any, make it yourself, whatever it is that gets the job done. She tosses a folder onto the table. Here's information that my investigators have collected on him over the years. The photograph itself is outdated, but I recommend you read it over. She points toward one section. His habits, his hobbies, his likes and interests. He's a very self-indulgent individual. He spends his time either pursuing the arts or enjoying fine dining. His mansion has a subsection dedicated toward the things he's collected over the years. She points towards another paragraph. His financial and travel records, purchasing history, and contacts. He often takes trips to isolated places in the mountains. Yep, he's a serial killer, okay. I went through great lengths to acquire it. He's a private person who doesn't enjoy showing his face in public since the accident. This seems extreme. Does it? Everyone says I'm just being paranoid. That he's simply self-conscious over his disfigurement. And that's why he's kept to himself since. But I know otherwise. And I know whatever it is that he's been hiding won't be for so long. I will reveal the truth. And I will get my revenge for everything he's done to me in the past. She gets up from her seat, ready to leave. You hastily run after her. Wait, Louise, this is a lot to take in. And I don't know if I'll be able to accept this deal. It's just... She ignores you, instead continuing her walk toward the door, where a man is already holding the door open for her, an umbrella in hand. When you make eye contact with her, you can tell that she already knows you won't be refusing this job. You only have one mother, Jelly, and no amount of money can bring the dead back. If there's anything you need to prepare in advance, contact me. I will provide it for you. And you promise that my mom will receive the proper treatment as soon as I come back with your information. I swear it. So work hard. I want payback for the bastard responsible for my parents' empty graves. And that's the end of the demo? Ah! Well, I mean, yeah, oh no, and that's him! We're going on the date with him! Oh no! Okay, well, there's something wrong with my blind date. That was the demo. This came out, like, not too long ago, so it's pretty interesting. I will be sure to, like, keep this in mind. But also there's, like, a lot of pronunciation and stuff that, like, I could not pronounce. I'm sorry. There are friends that I have that could pronounce that stuff a lot better than I could. But I didn't want to misappropriate or, like, incorrectly pronounce things. So, anyways, thank you, my jelly beans, for watching. This has been the demo for There's Something Wrong with My Blind Date. And, yeah, I'm really excited to get to see more of this. It's pretty interesting. Thank you for tuning in, my jelly beans. This has been Jellywish, and I will see you guys next time.